Hello guys, welcome to the very first video of DevSeeds. Through this channel, I'll be trying to teach you a little bit of programming, and in this video series, I'll be focusing on Salesforce's brand new framework called Lightning. So as you can see in my screen, I have created a new developer edition, and if I log into that, so I think I don't have to teach you how to create a developer edition in Salesforce, because if you are having a Salesforce or Facebook account, I think you can easily create one. Okay, so this is where we are going to build our component, and this is Salesforce. So in Salesforce, we code everything in cloud. As I said earlier, I'll be focusing on the Lightning component framework. So why do we have components? One thing, components are very easy to create, and we combine few components together and will be forming an app. So that's a formula. Component 1 plus component 2 plus component 3, we get an awesome app. Why do we have to use it? It's mobile first, and Salesforce actually claims that it's having more performance, but I honestly didn't see it, so I cannot comment on that. Then yes, it's event driven, so components will be communicating through each other through events. So we'll be seeing a lot of all those things. We'll be doing a lot of coding, and even if you're new, just stay focused. There is nothing new which we cannot learn, and everything is available in Google. So we'll be using a lot of Google. So without Google, I wouldn't have been a programmer. So let's start it. Okay, so this is how it will look like when you log into the application. And yes, to create awesome apps like this, so let me go to one of the apps that are already there. So let me search for sales, and yes, we have an app. So let it load, and if you already know, these are the standard objects that are there in Salesforce. So let me go to one of the accounts. So what you see here is a component. What you see here on the right hand side is another component. So if I click on the logo called tab, and what you see inside here is another component. So with the Lightning framework, we can actually create awesome stunning looking apps like this, and we can put those components anywhere like this. So let's create our first application, or the first Lightning component. Okay, so if you are already know like Salesforce, you know where you have to code, right? Or if you don't know, you just have to look at this icon, just click on it, and you can open the developer console. Okay, so when the developer console is loaded, you can just go to file, new, Lightning component. I hope you can see this, and you can just create a name called test. And for the time being, you can just click and active everything. So I'll tell you on along the way what all these things will be doing. So let me just go ahead and create, and you can see that some of the things are already written for you. Okay, so I'll be telling you all of these things, what all, why are we using all these things. But for now, just keep it like that only, and inside that I'll just write uh, hello world. No world, go with hello Salesforce or hello cloud. Okay, let me save it. Okay, let me see if this component is already working. Now, to make it work, I told you we can use this component in any record page, right? So let me go ahead and edit this page. You can click on this button again. You can click on edit page. Now the component name which we have given is test. So let me see if we have a component called test. It will not appear here. So why is it not appearing? Because we forgot to enable my domain. So let me just go ahead and enable this one. Let me click on my domain. Okay, so they will be telling you how do we enable a my domain. You just have to give a domain name. Let me give a domain name. So it will be dev seats. So it's available. Yay, unlucky. So I'll be registering the domain, and now I'll have to wait for some few minutes to get it activated. So we'll come back when it is getting activated. Okay, while it is getting ready, let's go ahead and check the architecture of the Lightning components. So this is what I found in the internet. This is how our application will look like. So our application will have so many components, as I said. A component can also have another component. A component will have a JavaScript controller, and this will be in the client side. On server side, we'll have one Apex class also. So that class will have Aura enabled methods. So these components can directly talk to Aura enabled methods only. So that's the architecture of the Lightning framework. So this diagram will look confusing to you, even it was confusing to me when I was doing it for the first time. But it will all make sense once you start developing. Okay, so this is only one thing that you'll have to remember. The class will have Aura enable methods. Only then we can call those methods from a Lightning component. Okay, and again, components can communicate through events. So those are the only two things. Now let me look at the domain again, and let me see if it's ready. Yeah, I think it's ready. So let me try to log in and test it. So as you can see, the dev seed started appearing on my URL. So that's why we need to have domains. Okay, so once it is ready, you will have to deploy to users. Click on OK. We are all done. So let me just go ahead and refresh. So now also the deploy to my domain, I mean our component which we created haven't appeared here. So let's go ahead and refresh. Okay. Okay. So I have logged in again. So now the dev seeds started appearing here, as I told earlier. So let me go ahead and check the app which we have created. So the app which we have created is test. And now let me go ahead and edit the page. So the new component started appearing here. Okay. So once it starts appearing here, you can just drag and drop to anywhere you want. So let me just place it over here on the top side. So I don't know if you can see, but there is, what you can see is hello cloud is already written over here. So that's what we had in the component. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. And okay, it's asking us to activate this page to make it visible to all users. So let's activate it. I will assign it as all default. So there's nothing. Now let me go back to the account page. And yes, see, hello world. So this is our first component. So we have created a component and deployed it to the page. So just like this, we can surface this application in S-Force 1, in mobile, in Visual Force pages. I mean, if you already know what Visual Force page is, so we can use this component in another component as well. Okay, or we can create an application and paste this component inside that application as well. Okay. uh, okay, so we have the hello world, sorry, hello cloud printed here. So that means that our first component is working.